Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Kathy Meadows here, and I woke up at 3:30 this morning, between 3 and 3:30, with a very huge blow of something that smelled really, really bad waking me up. I ended up with a nasal infection because of it. But anybody else going through this? Anyway, I'd love to hear if you're going through it, okay? If you're going through this type of harassment. So, anyway, I've been off to a slow start the last few weeks, basically. Haven't been able to get on here because of waking up early in the morning and all that kind of thing that we all do. You know how it is. So, but I did want to talk about something very important today, and that is that there's absolute scientific evidence that emotional pain increases physical pain. So whatever they're doing, whatever is happening to you that is causing physical pain, then your sadness or sorrow or grief about it is going to enhance that pain. And so obviously good to stay away from negative thinking, good to not be ruminating over how awful they are. And when you think about it, people break bones, they have babies, they get in car accidents, they go to war, they have all kinds of injuries and wounds that hurt a real lot. But the thing that really intensifies it is sadness, any sorrow, sadness. So emotional pain will enhance physical pain because both physical pain and emotional pain use the same neural pathways. So neural means nervous system, and it means that anything that has to do with the nervous system goes directly to the brain, is attached to the brain. So if you're feeling sad and blue because somebody stabbed you in the back, that's going to enhance any physical pain that you have. And it's easy for people who are betrayed by their ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, ex-significant others, people they might have looked up to in the past and respected in the past, like bosses of any kind, supervisors of any kind, people who they wanted to impress and who they did look up to and have respect. If these people suddenly turn against you and mean to harm you, that's a betrayal. Okay, and the betrayal is going to cause a lot of pain and suffering in itself, even without any kind of physical problems. So they're going to have the betrayal, and that's going to cause a lot of sorrow, a lot of pain, a lot of questions about where were you all raised, you know? So, you're raised in a barn. What's going on with you guys? So, now also the sorrow, even if it doesn't have anything to do with friends and family and exes and ex-employers and that kind of thing, the pain, the sorrow itself can come from things like being betrayed by your own country. I remember when in elementary school, for all 6 years in elementary school, every single morning for 6 years. So how many days would that be? 5 days a week for 7 to 8 months every year, over the course of 6 years. That every single morning we'd go out and pledge allegiance to the flag, sing America the Beautiful or Star Spangled Banner, put our hands over our hearts. All of us little children marching out, standing around a flagpole, putting our hands over our hearts, pledging allegiance to the United States of America, and showing our and being told what a great country this is and what a free country this is, and that's the best country in the whole world. And then just to find out that this great country can betray people too, and that causes a lot of pain and suffering for somebody like me who was brought up and indoctrinated, which I'm using the word indoctrinated, I guess I could use the word inspired, but indoctrinated to believe that we were all free and that we all had human rights and that we all had civil rights and we all had the right to take our grievances into a courtroom when we're being treated badly. So if anyone should find out that that is not the case, that the government employees, don't really want to uphold what I crossed my hand over my heart for 6 years when I was a kid. They don't want to uphold that freedom and liberty for all. Not give anyone due process to defend themselves or tell their sides of the story, which of course is another part of standing around that flagpole and pledging allegiance. It causes a lot of pain. So if you are also getting the physical pain, and that is going to be enhanced by the psychological pain, definitely, without a doubt. It's going to make it feel worse. And so, obviously, you have to kind of refocus. You're going to be shocked if it is, someone who you loved or respected at one time, who you thought that even though you might have had an argument or disagreement with somebody or even gone further than that there was this basic human level of respect that's still there. Then, if that was still there, you'd be getting along fine. Everything would be good. But the thing is, you got to refocus. You got to get away from the negative thinking. Now, there are lots of ways to do this, okay? So it's not impossible, but it is important that you make the effort. And if you keep making the effort, it's going to work. One great exercise that is around is just looking into a mirror and forcing yourself to laugh for a couple of minutes. Now, it's recommended 20 minutes. I think that's a great exercise. If you can go to the gym for an hour, you can do this for 20 minutes, right? Or have one day on, one day off or something. But even doing it for 5 minutes is going to change you. Even doing it for 1 minute is going to change you, because it changes you in the way, even if you're faking laughing. And you can be silly about it. You can ha ha, ho ho, he he, and do anything you want to do. Make yourself laugh by doing it. What happens is your brain doesn't even know that you're faking laughing. Your brain is just a dead machine, basically. I mean, although it's amazing, it's the most complicated thing in our universe, and that kind of story I'm sure you've heard before, it still doesn't know. You're feeding it information. So when you're laughing and standing in front of a mirror and laughing, your brain thinks you are really laughing. So if your brain therefore starts pumping out serotonin and all the happy chemicals, it'll start pumping serotonin, it'll start pumping dopamine, whatever it is you need. All the happy chemicals are going at you because your brain thinks you're laughing. And so you're faking your brain out, and your brain thinks you're laughing. And by the end of it, if you did it for a full 20 minutes to 60 minutes, which, laughing for 60 minutes, you'd be like on cloud 9. But if you did it for the whole time, you would really start laughing in real time, because your brain would pick up that you're laughing, and then it would start laughing for real, and it would propagate the laughter, and you're laughing about nothing, but it works, and you feel good, and it makes you feel happy. Excuse me. So, go ahead and try that exercise, the mirror laughing, hands on hips, standing in front of the mirror. If you can't stand, if you have a disability, sit in front of a mirror. If you don't have a mirror to sit in front of or stand in front of, it doesn't matter. just laugh anyway. And if someone from the next room say, have you gone crazy in there? What are you doing? You can say, just heard a funny joke. You know, I mean, whatever makes the people around you happy without them thinking you're crazy or, whatever. Now, other good things to do. That's the number one thing, by the way. Laughing out loud in front of a mirror, fake laughing in front of a mirror is the number one best thing to do because it changes your brain chemistry right away. The next thing you can do is dance. Okay, but you're not going to put on sad music, I lost my baby, life sucks, so on and so forth. You're going to put on music that's rocking and rolling and a happy music. I don't care if it's hip hop, rock and roll, country western, doesn't matter. Funny songs, interesting songs, joyful songs, dancing songs, all great. And it's good to stand up while these are on. And if you don't feel like dancing, then at least sway back and forth and tap your foot. Or dance if you really want to. I would dance if it were me. Okay, so, but anything that's just another diversion. So we're looking for diversions. Okay, other great diversions include video games. You can get lost in a video game, and you're not even thinking about this any pain that's being caused to you emotionally. Okay, you're not thinking about it. It might be there somewhere lingering, but you're not feeding it. You're not feeding it, so that's good. So video games are good, getting lost in video games, visiting with other people, talking on the phone is really helpful. Just even talking on the phone and distracting yourself for a while if you can't get out, don't feel like getting out. Talking on the phone is really helpful. And even group chats are really good as well. It's good to hear the person's voice. That's why I say, the phone is good. The closer you can make contact with the human being, either voice or touch or in person, eyeball to eyeball interaction, those are the best, obviously, for you. So, let's see. Other things might include treating yourself to a cupcake after doing the laundry or doing some kind of work. And to eat it slowly and savor it and lick the frosting off and do all the fun stuff you did when you were 7 years old. When somebody was baking cupcakes, you enjoy it, you get into it, you get chocolate on your face if you want to. Make it last a long time, little by little. You can cut the cupcake into 4 pieces. If it's chocolate, yay, because we know that chocolate ups your serotonin levels. And then you can go also and get 100% cocoa from the supermarket. So you get 100% cocoa from the supermarket. You put a tablespoon of it in a cup with your favorite sweetener and whatever milk you use. If you use any at all, heat that up. And then you can use that's a drug, okay? You're taking your chocolate drug, and that will also enhance your mood. And at one time, I really overdid it, as I tend to do with most things. And I put like 2 or 3 heaping tablespoons of cocoa in a cup. And I might have added a teaspoon of coffee too, I don't know. But the coffee was nothing compared to the 3 tablespoons of cocoa I put in there. I put honey in it. I creamed it up. It was delicious. And I might have made 2 of them like that. And after 2 of them, I was like, yeah, I never did that again. I was buzzing, seriously buzzing, just from cocoa. 3 heaping tablespoons. Oops, sorry. So, you can also use things that are good for you emotionally, that you can eat, that you can consume. Chocolate probably is the number one thing that I can think of offhand, but I'm sure that there's other herbs that you can take. You might want to try something to keep your head above water emotionally, like what they offer at CVS or what is offered at some other drugstores around. And, that would be things that are called mood enhancers. So you have mood enhancers and it's herbal. Look for herbal mood enhancers and do not underestimate herbs. Herbs are amazing and they are legal and you don't need a prescription for them. And CVS has I think they have a product called Happy that is a mood enhancer that I believe is all herbal, but they have other mood enhancers too. So but that's one of them I remember because of the name Happy. So check out the mood enhancers at the store, over the counter mood enhancers. And what I did with my mood enhancers when I first discovered them years ago, before any of these mood enhancers came out in the drugstore, I would mix three of three different herbal teas that were known for either relaxing you or, upping your mood. So I'd have 9 tea bags, okay, and in the pot when I was boiling and seeping the tea, 9 of them. And it would make like 1 cup, or I would just put all 9 tea bags in 1 cup and keep filling the cup over and over again with hot water. And trust me when I tell you that 9 tea bags of 3 different herbs that are mood enhancers or relaxing agents, it works because it works, okay? When you take 9 of them, it works. That was great. Knocked me out. And, no alcohol involved, just herbs. You'd be amazed what nature has given us to take care of us, or what God has given us to help us along our path, knowing the path is going to be hard and full of treachery and full of, problems that, we have been supplied with the medicine and it grows out of the ground. So that's another option you can take to relieve emotional pain. But these are direct things that will enhance your serotonin and dopamine levels, remove the emotional pain, and then you have to hold it. Now there's going to be times when you sink into grief, and that's okay. Grief is okay. Grief is telling you that you're in pain, it hurts, and maybe you need a good cry. So go watch a sad movie that's made you cry before and cry again if you want to. But don't cry for days. Cry, get it out of your system. By the next morning when you wake up, it's a new life, a new time, a new beginning. But every once in a while, from the betrayals, you're going to fall back into grief again. Maybe not. Maybe you'll be able to evade it forever. But, you might not have any grief for 10 years and then suddenly feel the full impact of the grief even after 10 years. And it might be like every so often you're going to feel grief for whatever position that you're in socially with other people. And certainly feelings of rejection don't feel good. Feelings that people who you once cared for, like I said before, or that you still do care for as a human being and as a friend in this world, decided, they just as soon you die, which you'd never expect, it's like total overkill, of course, as we know. But it's real important to keep your mood up, stay happy as possible, do what you can do to divert your attention. If you're into really good thriller movies, watch a good thriller movie. If you're really into anything else that's that's going to bring you up as far as movies go, Bridesmaids, even when Bridesmaids first came out, cracked me up. I was able to totally divert to the movie Bridesmaids when it first came out. I was totally able to divert to the movie Spy Game. I was totally able to divert to the movie Enemy of the State or The Matrix. So, but you decide you're going to find movies that are going to be inspirational or just fun and adventurous. That's another diversion. Getting your mind off of it, getting you to enjoy it. Do not negate exercising. Okay, you're going to get up, you're going to do some deep knee bends, you're going to bend over and touch the floor a couple times, you're going to keep your body relaxed so you don't pull any muscles. You're going to dance around the room. You can dance like you danced when you were a teenager. You're just going to get that exercise, open up some windows to get some fresh air in your lungs, because the exercise itself is also going to increase your dopamine. Sunshine's going to increase your happy chemicals too, just getting out in the sun. If you can't get out in the sun, sit on the back porch at least, or open a window and sit in the sun by the window. If you have no sun, that's fine, because the sun's magic cuts right through the clouds. The clouds do not stop the sun's rays. You can still get sunburnt on a cloudy day. You don't want to get sunburnt, but 20 minutes a day is good, and it should keep you healthy without getting sunburnt. So remember, and I, at the risk of repeating myself, remember that emotional sorrow and pain and grief use the same neural pathways as physical pain. So when you're feeling them both at the same time, the physical pain is going to feel greater. Now, I do not know if that works in reverse, where the more physical pain you have, the more emotional pain you have. But I don't think so, not so much. And the reason I say that is if you see people who have just, everybody loves them, everybody, treats them really well all the time, and they break their arm, yeah, they're in pain, but they have all this love and hugs and kisses around them, and people wishing them well and writing them cards or coming to visit them or whatever. And so, yeah, they still have the pain in their arm, but they're not going to, it's going to feel like nothing compared to the pain that you would feel if you've been betrayed. Especially if you've been betrayed big time. Like big time by someone who you shared a bed with at one time, someone you've had a child with at one time, someone that you trusted at one time, someone who you spent Christmas dinners with at one time, or the country that you pledged your allegiance to and that you fell in love with and whose ideals you wanted to uphold. That kind of betrayal too, that's going to cause pain. So get away from it, shoot in the other direction. You're going to get better and better and better at this. Do the laughing in the mirror thing, okay? Do it for 1 minute to 5 minutes. If you can't do it 20 minutes, because 20 minutes sounds crazy, start doing it just for 1 minute. You might want to continue it after you start. But this is going to help, and I promise you it will help if you can keep doing if you did all these things every day for even a short amount of time each, it's going to make a difference in your life. Get outside if you can and take a walk and say hi to the neighbors, even if you don't trust them. Say hi to them anyway, make contact. There are people who I didn't trust, and after I talked to them, I began to trust them. So, sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes we make mistakes about who we can trust and can't trust, because if you're, victimized, you're going to feel like you can't trust anybody sometimes, but you really can. When you get these gangs of thugs going around bothering you, it seems like everybody's doing it, but they aren't. They want you to think that. That's why they surround you. But you'll talk to people every day who have nothing to do with it. So please take care of yourselves. Stay as healthy as possible. Eat your vegetables. Get some exercise. Laugh out loud for no reason at all. And divert your attention. And trust me, things will get better. Well, thank you for joining me. If you want to give me a thumbs up or subscribe, that would be cool. Give you some more help next time I see you, next time I come around. I'm going to try to be here more often, but every time I want to get on a schedule of doing this, something happens to throw me off. But I've just decided it's not going to happen this time. So take care of yourself, have a good day, and take care of your body and your mind. Thanks. Thanks for being here.